The Creative Works project is a creative digital storytelling resource that may be used in the class to teach students about creative writing. The following digital tale talks about an individual's perfect weekend, which includes a variety of activities. Students should utilize this resource to improve creative thinking as well as create crazy thoughts in order to turn their writing into something really imaginative. My audience is targeted at Year 4. In Year 4, children will continue to develop across the different strands of writing, such as imagination and ideas, audience and purpose, handwriting or typing, spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Therefore, this resource is a fantastic way of exploring strands of writing. So, students are to explore creative writing and present a creative piece of writing after interacting with the creative resource, so students are able to understand and use their imaginations after interacting. Creative writing will also help to improve intellectual skills. So this resource is used for students to gather their thoughts, problem solve, imagine, use their imagination, suggest alternatives, broaden their thought process. It also allows the children to show their option and develop their voice. So this relates to the Victorian curriculum as it uses a range of software including word processing programs to construct, edit and publish written text and select, edit and place visual, print and audio elements. So as part of the activity, students will comment on the project such as positive comments, what they enjoyed most about the creative story, what was engaging and what was really creative. So modification best suits my project as online teaching opens up new communication routes, many of which can benefit previously marginalised students. So the interactivity creates an immersive and engaging experience that could not be achieved without the addition of technology. So Bloom's taxonomy is a means of framing questions to target different levels of cognitive processing. It consists of 6 aspects of learning: remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate and create. In brackets Churchill et al. 2019. So in regards to making connections with Bloom's taxonomy, my project best fits in with analysing. So students are able to draw connections among ideas whilst interacting with the storytelling project. The project is used for students to contrast ideas from the creative story and assemble their interests to create their own stories in future. So these 3 G's learning principles best suit my project. So starting off with explore, think laterally, rethink goals. So games force players to expand their situation knowledge and consider courses of action other than linear ones. So based on the project and its unique imagination, it allows students to think freely and come up with their own ideas for their future stories. Situated meaning, so students learn new vocab, words by experiencing them within the game situation. And system thinking, games make players think a bigger picture, not just individual actions taken, helping them to see the pieces fit, how the pieces fit or how they can be fitted together. So these are my 3 E affordances. As you can see, I've got the definition for each one and what it means and why they benefit my project. So we'll start with metacognition. So storytelling through Scratch allows you to think about what you've learned and where you want to go. It aids in identification of areas of weakness as well as strengths, as well as the formulation of questions to ask. Differentiated learning. This activity has been designed to accompany students with dyslexia, as it's the most common learning disability in the classroom, and also dysgraphia. Scratch is a great resource as it allows students to visualize a story through sound, movement, music, and images. And multimodal is very important as it caters for students that have learning disabilities also. My resource includes multiple sounds that complement the ideas and messages in the digital story, as well as text, so students can visually see what the characters are saying, as well as they can also hear it. I can definitely say, comparing my design brief to my final project, it involves change. When planning my design brief, I had limited my imagination and still wasn't 100% happy with the design brief that I had planned. When completing my project, I noticed that my storyline, thoughts, and ideas were quite similar. However, my brief design didn't fully explain it enough. In future, I know to be more precise and happier with what I want to do. And yeah, so looking at this here, this is the first little backdrop of my project, and I was super happy with how I was able to use the backdrops, and I picked up on that quite quick. So whilst creating Scratch, I found it a little bit difficult adding in soundtracks, changing each backdrop, getting the perfect timing for each figure, when it should come in, when it should leave, to be ready to present when it was their turn. So I spent multiple hours trying to figure this out. However, watching many YouTube videos on how to do all these different things, I finally figured out how to use Scratch. So that was my way of learning, watching other people do it. So next time I would definitely ask for help. Due to not figuring out on how to use Scratch quick enough, next time I would love to make my project go for longer so it's more engaging and interactive. So I believe that as a future teacher, using digital stories is a great way to engage pupils in the meaning of the story. In an educational setting, when it comes to creative writing, my number one aim for my students to achieve would be to encourage their full imagination and to inform them that their ideas and creativeness is valued when learning about creative writing.